adlaw.
Good day!
Magandang araw.
Welcome to our YouTube channel.
Where historians bring the past back to life.
Join us on our captivating journey through centuries.
Uncovering forgotten stories and legends that shape our world.
Let us discover history together. This is Christopher Ian.
Christopher Jack.
Christopher Michelle.
Christopher Chavi. Christopher Nam. And Christopher Carl. To know more about history, don't forget to click the subscribe button and click the notification bell below.
Gandang araw ka-Histobers! Today, we are going on a historical adventure like no other. Together, we will uncover fascinating stories dala ang ating sense of adventure at passion sa history dito sa Cebu Normal University. Ako nga pala si ka-Histober Kian at sa episode na ito, tayo ay maglilibot upang magtanong sa mga ka-normalista tungkol sa pananaw nila sa history. Let's go na dayon!
Hi, good day. Yeah, can you please state your name? What grade are you from?
BA Com Journalism.
Journalism. I'd like to ask you some questions about history. If you would rate yourself from 1 to 10 as 1 is the lowest and 10 is the highest, gaano ka katalino sa history?
4.
Okay, let's test if 4 ba yung score. So, for our first question, what do you think is the famous work of Jose Rizal?
1 famous word. 2 famous word is actually it's very relevant na Noli Tanjore and the Alphalibus.
Alfali and Noli. That is actually right. It's a famous work of Rizal. Just a quick fact, guys.
Jose Rizal, a known hero, wrote 2 influential novels during the late 19th century, namely Noli Me Tangere, or Touch Me Not, and El Filibusterismo, or The Reign of Greed. These novels exposed the injustices and abuses of Spanish colonial rule in the Philippines and inspired a sense of national identity and resistance among Filipinos, contributing significantly to the country's struggle for independence.
Alright, let's proceed for the second question since we are talking about the work of Rizal. What do you think is the importance of studying the history?
I think it is really important to study history because history gives us an insight, a learnings on what has happened before, and it gives us an idea of what their experiences are. And with that, with history, we are having the knowledge on how we should develop, or what I mean is how we should take good care, how we should preserve the history, because even if it is not really visible day by day, but history really plays an important role in our lives.
That is actually correct. I totally agree with your answer. Well, thank you so much for your time here with us and for allowing us to interview you. Thank you. You can also watch our YouTube channel. It's Histober. You can watch this video. Thank you so much. Alright, I'm by the way from BSN Filipino for 4 years. For our project na, thank you kayo for your time. So, can I have...
My name is Jessa.
Rondel. What do you do?
BSN English.
English, wow. English. Some questions about sa history lang ba sa Philippines, and before that, I'd like to ask first if you would rate yourself from 1 to 10, and 1 is the lowest, and 10 is the highest. Gaano kayo katalino sa history?
0.1?
mapahambol kaya itong mga friends here from English major. 5.
5 over 0.2.
I think I'd say
Okay, let's test that. So, for our first question here, let's go on. What is the name of the peaceful revolution in 1986 that led to political change in the Philippines? Mahabol tayo. Yeah. Just a quick fun fact about EDSA Revolution.
The EDSA Revolution, also known as the People Power Revolution, was a non-violent mass protest in the Philippines in 1986. It led to the overthrow of President Ferdinand Marcos and the restoration of democracy, with Corazon Aquino becoming the country's new president.
For our second question, since we are talking about history in here, for you, do you think studying history is relevant?
Sa Philippines ba, saka ma-establish mo ang kanang identity sa Philippines too, sa kanang sa naagian niya na kanang colonization, ang culture of
The Philippines is not the Philippines today without the history. So, tinuod jud ang history.
yes,
Yeah, how about you, sir? Do you have to say
the question again?
studying history is relevant?
Yes, I think personally it's important, it's relevant to study history because everything that has happened before, we can learn from them. Like, we can learn from them, and those situations or those events happened in the past, kanang dili na ba na siya mo balik today. Like, once you say dito, it stays in the past, and then we can improve in the future, in the present.
Correct. Never again.
It's written in books.
I think it's important also not to revise the history. Okay.
By the way, I am Rian from BSAD Filipino Court here. Yeah, can I have your name?
My name is Lady Ganipon.
And your name?
Rachel Opas from Viewpoints, Broadcasting Journalism.
Journalism, so they have that knowledge, guys, about media. So yeah, I'll be asking a few questions about history, and before we would proceed that, I'd like to know, like, if you would rate yourself from 1 to 10, 1 is the lowest, 10 is the highest, gaano kayo katalino sa history?
Five.
Wala pa kang
4.
Stance or tinood ba dun? So for my first question here, who was the first woman to serve as president of the Philippines?
Recent opens. Philippines.
Yeah, Philippines.
Corazon.
Corazon Aquino, often referred to as Cory, was the first female president of the Philippines and served from 1986 to 1992. She became an iconic figure in the country's history for her role in the peaceful People Power Revolution that led to the downfall of Ferdinand Marcos's regime and the restoration of democracy in the Philippines.
So since we are talking about history in here, para sa inyo is it important for us to study Philippine history?
Of course, it's important because you shouldn't forget about the past because kanang wala ta today if kanang wala ang mga gipabuhat sa ato ang ancestors before nagpaglaban dito for democracy. And now kanang nakita na dyan ako sa media right now nga kanang ipaglaban na punta sa Senate. Like for example, the Kabataan Party List, ipaglaban na dyan ta, and I can see that and I can see hope now because of our generation.
Kinsa ganitong representative sa kabataan part of this?
Next question, please.
Siya.
Okay, thank you. How about you?
Okay. So how is it important?
Yeah.
I think it's really important now we know about history because what happened in the history is relevant in what's happening today because sa mga nahitabo how the revolution started in the history and we're not here today if it's not because of the bravery of the people of the people who fought for our country of the of our freedom and what we are freedom karon. So like yeah, we need to understand, we need to know more about the history kay
We owed that from.
yes. Correct. We ought that from our ancestors to our national heroes who really fought for our country.
Well, mga brilliant kayong mga normalized. Thank you so much sa inyong time with this video with us. We actually have a YouTube channel. Histories that can visit like is it fine if I upload some on?
Hindi mo wala po dito.
I am Ian from here. Yeah. So yung galing is
I'm I am Lux.
saan yung mga degree program? Math. Wow, mga mathematics yan. I'll be asking 2 questions about this Philippine history. Isira jud kayo ni siya like tanan ra makaibaw but we will test but before that I'd like to ask if you would rate yourself from 1 to 10 and 1 is the lowest, 10 is the highest. Gaano kayo katalino sa history?
4.
4, okay.
Depende. Pero, yeah, 5.
5. Sige, mga humble man yan itong mga teacher sa math. Okay, I will atong i-task kung 5 ra budget ninyong rates diri. So for my first question, sino ang tatlong pari na pinatay sa Cavite itang ng Garote?
Full name? Ako tayo
Sige, yun sa man.
Gomez, Burgos, at Zamora.
Okay. Gumbersa. That's actually correct. Wow, mga bright. So, diba, isira kayo, mga math teachers. So, for fun fact, guys, about Gumbersa,
Gumborza, a historical acronym representing 3 Filipino priests, namely Mariano Gomez, Jose Apolonio Burgos, and Jacinto Zamora, were prominent figures in the 19th century Philippine independence movement. They were executed by Spanish colonial authorities in 1872, leading to widespread outrage and fueling nationalist sentiments in the Philippines.
since we are talking about history, I'd like to know sa inyo, for you, why is it important to study history?
So, for me, essential yun sa nga study taon kan history no kay kanang paisa ko na to karon nato sa generation nga generation sin ana so marag pagpuna ang mga kwan so need sa nato nga kananapay knowledge sa past bago isay mga historical events or historical places or kinsa pang mga tao sa una nga nasay naambag sa ato ang nasa especially sa nasa inana something like that.
Is it relevant ba siya nga maibaw-an nato ang history?
Yes, like
history?
100% relevant siya para
Okay, I agree with that. Thomas,
Yes, it is 100% relevant since kung wala sila like na sila ambag ganin through like kung dili ingani ang atong kwan karon if wala sila nakuan sa kani ato like kung sila na
so we owe it from the past ato ang what we have today. Something like that. Yeah. Diba? Same na dyan taog ka ng kuhan pa about history. So, we understand also just ka important to learn, to study the history. So, thank you so much kayo sa inyong time. way, I'm Kian from ESL, Filipino, fourth year. So, what's your name, guys?
My name is Christine.
Christine.
Angeline po.
Ano sa mga degree program?
ESL Philippines.
Filipino po, yeah, I'll be asking two questions about Philippine history. So, before that, gusto ko munang alamin if you would rate yourself from 1 to 10, 1 as the lowest and 10 as the highest. Gaano kayo katalino sa history?
5.
5, humble.
Siguro 3 lang po.
3, bakit 3 lang? Humble ka itong mga Filipino teachers spirit. So, atong itas kung unsa dyan yung kanyang rating if it will manifest sa ato ang answers here. So, for my first question, in what year did Ferdinand Magellan arrive in the Philippines?
1951.
1951. How about you? You can guess lang sa year. I will give a clue. It's around 1500s. Dali mo sure ikaw, like wild guess lang.
1560.
1560. Well, thank you for your answer, but it's actually not correct. It was year 1521. Yeah. Yeah, just a quick fun fact, guys.
Ferdinand Magellan's arrival in the Philippines in 1521 marked the first documented European expedition to the archipelago. Unfortunately, Magellan himself was killed in a battle with local chieftain Lapu-Lapu on the island of Mactan, but his expedition continued its journey, eventually circumnavigating the globe.
Napag-usapan na natin dito ang history sa Pilipinas. Para sa inyo, bakit mahalaga ba na pag-aralan o pag-usapan ang
History.
Para po sa akin, nararapat po na kailangan siyang pag-aralan para po mas maging mulat ang lahat kung paano nabuo ang Pilipinas o kung paano tayo naging ganito kasi ito po ay importante kasi isa po itong mas masasabi ko na isa siyang kaluluwa ng pagiging isang Pilipino na kung saan hindi mabubuwang ang ganitong like ganito tayo, kung gano'n tayo ka matatag or like something na like dili siya pag murag puwang like kulang po yung pagiging Pilipino natin kung hindi po nangyari ang lahat ng mga nangyari nung unang panahon nila po.
So, sa kaisa-isahan yan, dito natin malalaman ang ating pagkakailangan kung paano tayo nagsimula. Ikaw, para sa iyo, bakit ba ito mahalaga na pag-aralan na kasaysayan?
It's really important kasi it's part of our culture, parte ng identidad natin bilang mga Pilipino at bilang mga estudyante na nag-aaral sa asignatura Pilipino. Importante sa atin sapagkat asangan natin ito.
Alright, maganda yung mga sagot ng ating mga ka-Filipinos. Salamat kayo sa inyong time. Tila. By the way, from ESL Filipinos, fourth year. I know your name? Elaine. Faye. Ikaw, Cyrus. Kita mo nga degree program?
Yes, ma'am.
We'll be asking questions about history and Tula. So for our first question, who founded Katipunan? Just a quick fun fact, guys, about the Katipunan.
The Katipunan, often abbreviated as KKK, was a Filipino revolutionary society founded in 1892 with the goal of achieving independence from Spanish colonial rule. Led by figures like Andres Bonifacio, the KKK played a pivotal role in sparking the Philippine Revolution against Spanish oppression, which ultimately led to the country's declaration of independence in 1898.
we are talking about history. Well, for you, why we should study history?
We should study history because this is our past. It is part of our culture, our beliefs today. Ano ba yun?
Also, in studying our Philippine history, we are able to connect with our past. We will understand why this happened, why the propaganda, the pagsikan, and it brings us back to history and makaget the why that thing happened. And appreciate that of freedom today.
Yeah, that is actually true. Yeah, thank you so much for cooperating by. And that's it for today's episode, mga kahistuber. Thank you for joining here with me sa Cebu Normal University. And for our upcoming episode, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification below. Goodbye na dayon!
Pages of time and a legend story unfolds. Tales of the past will make us bold.